Hello viewers and aspirants, welcome to Telugu One Academy. So we have fundamental rights and DPSP. So we here in Directive Principles of State Policy mentioned in part 4 of the Constitution from Article 36 to 51. We are trying to classify these Directive Principles of State Policy. No, in Constitution it has been classified. In Constitution, DPSP has not been classified. But for general understanding, we have classified. The experts of the Constitution, like MP Sharma, has classified Directive Principles of State Policy based on certain ideology. We have certain ideology right from, because the concept of socialism we have brought, we are following the concept of socialistic pattern of society. We have influenced by the Gandhian philosophy right from freedom struggle and post independence, even in the drafting of our constitution also. We also inspired by various liberal approaches of Western countries. We also got inspiration from international agencies like United Nations, World Bank, IMF. So we have got inspired in framing our constitution from different sources of the world, and that is the reason we could generally categorize the Directive Principles of State Policy into 3 or 4 types. So just for a normal understanding, we have said whatever provisions are mentioned in DPSP can be categorized into socialistic pattern or socialistic principles. వీటినే సామ్యవాద సూత్రాలు అని అంటాము. We have Gandhian principles, గాంధేయ సూత్రాలు. We have liberal and intellectual principles. We also have international and Western principles. So on these grounds or on these ideology, we have generally classified the DPSP and its provisions for a common understanding. Otherwise, there is no categorization in the Constitution. We do not follow any ism, in fact. That is, we do not follow an ideology like socialist, a complete socialism we do not follow. We have a concept of mixed economy. Post 1991, we are sometimes moving away from the concept of socialism. Now we have been following a market-based economy. We have many concepts which got inspired from the ideals of Mahatma Gandhi. So we have also incorporated many provisions in Directive Principles of State Policy. For example, the Panchayat system, prohibition on intoxicating of drinks, or protecting the milching animals, and empowering the local people, that is cooperative societies. So all these principles we have placed in Gandhian principles, because Gandhian principles empowers or ensures that local government is made more powerful. As Gandhi said, India lives in villages. So the people in local area or villages been empowered. They have been made participation in the governance of the country. We also have liberal and intellectual principles. So when we talk about participation of workers in the management, when we say a woman should give maternity relief, or when we say we have to improve the environment, so all these ideals, equal pay for equal work, so all these ideas now reflect the liberal thought of the Western societies. So not just confining to our society, our culture, we also added many such provisions which the developed countries or the Western countries are implementing. And that is also very good sign that we have been implementing these policies and Today, India stands at a very respectable position. We have international and Western principles. We have, as borrowed this concept, DPSP and fundamental rights, we have inspired from International Covenant on Socio-Economic and Political Rights. We have seen many covenants, we have signed few agreements, we have inspired from United Nations. So all these things also we have inculcated in DPSP. So let's go with socialistic principles. These are the articles generally we study in socialistic principles. We have article 38, 39, 41, 42, 43, 43A and 47. These are the articles generally we discuss in socialistic principles. Now we'll go into details and know what these articles say. So as we have already discussed article 36, which defines the state, and article 37, which talks about the applicability of directive principles of state policy. For example, DPSPs are not enforceable. So these are the two articles. Going to article 38, this article says that the state should strive for the establishment of welfaristic society. ప్రజల శ్రేయస్సు కోసం గవర్నమెంట్ పాటుపడాలి. So welfare is, here when we look the welfaristic society in a broader view, again we talk about all those things: narrowing the inequality, providing the upliftment or taking steps by the government for the upliftment of underprivileged section of the society, or giving special interest to those people who needs help from the government. Or you can also say that the people who are rich, they need to be taxed, and that tax amount is spent on the development of the underdeveloped section of the people, or providing reservations in education, or giving public assistance. So all these concepts strengthen the concept of welfaristic state. Welfaristic state is different from police state, laissez-faire state. In laissez-faire state, the state will only come when there is a breakdown of law and order, or the state has responsibility only to regulate the government or governance. But in welfare state, the state will take upon itself the responsibility to provide the basic amenities to the people, right from shelter, food, education, health, and giving basic infrastructure like drinking water, electricity, road, transport. So all these basic amenities are provided by the state, might be at free of cost. We have seen many government schemes which provide these amenities to the people. So we have seen when there is a program of Garibi Hatao, there was a lot of free schemes like giving free home to the people who are homeless, distribution of land who are landless, or giving equal opportunity to the people to uplift their livelihood, or to give a basic standard of living. So that is the concept of welfare state, and it is the responsibility of the state to ensure that every section, every citizen should be brought inside the developmental net. No one should be made away, or no one should be excluded from the process of development. So the welfare of the people is the primary motto of socialistic pattern of society, and article 38 emphasis on this concept of welfarism. When we say justice, this justice should be provided to the people. It is both socio-economic and political justice. In this topic especially, we concentrate more on socio-economic justice. So, the society should be made in such a pattern that the individuals should be given opportunity for their development. That is, the state should strive for improvement of the citizen by providing them work. So that is where an individual will have economic independency. An individual is given an opportunity to work, and if that particular citizen is involved in the labor system, then definitely there is an improvement of its family that would lead to the growth of the society. Similarly, we have social justice. We have both individual and social. A community should be taken into consideration when the government prepares to frame a policy. So all sections of the society, children, women, old age, students, government employees, manufacturers, agrarian society, farmers, labor. So everyone should be given a focus, or everyone should be given an opportunity to make their life better, setting a better standard of life. So that is justice. To achieve such justice of socio-economic, we need to minimize the inequality. Until and unless there prevails inequality, we cannot say that we have achieved socio-economic justice. Political justice is just a justice where a person would participate in political system, but for that matter, socio-economic justice is more important for the development of their family, for the individual itself. So minimize inequality. Inequality should be reduced in all factors. It should be reduced in terms of income. The inequality should be reduced in terms of status. It should be reduced in all forms so that there prevails a sense of satisfaction among the citizens of the country. So Article 38 gives importance to welfaristic society, socio-economic political justice by reducing the concept of inequality, that is, by minimizing the inequality. Article 39. This article is as important as earlier articles. This article talks about the basic things which an individual should be provided. So the state should ensure that every citizen is provided with adequate means of livelihood. Here, when we say adequate means of livelihood, it means the state should bring such policies which gives work to the citizen, or which creates a good environment, the working conditions to the citizen. So adequate means of livelihood is important for economic justice. Why we have such a huge unemployment? We can say that the state has failed somewhere, or its policies are not targeted to reduce unemployment. So for example, we have MG Narega, Mahatma Gandhi National Employment Guarantee Scheme. With that, the government has tried, the state has tried to give work to the people. With that, there is a continuity in the economic system. Where there is a consumption, there is a demand. Where there is a demand, there have to be a supply, and where there is supply and demand, there have to be production. So for this continuous or cycle of economic policy, the government should provide opportunity to the people to work. So, we have mentioned this in our Directive Principles of State Policy. The state should ensure that it provides livelihood or work to the people. The state should ensure that the material resources of the country is not concentrated in the hands of few people. When we say we have socialistic pattern of society, the state policy should be formulated in such a way that the material resources are equally distributed for the good of community. So, the wealth of the nation should not be in the hands of few. That creates lot of inequality. So, when there is lot of inequality, obviously the nation would face many problems in terms of unbalanced development, sector wise, region wise, and in some times even community wise also. So, the ownership and control of material resources should be generally in the hands of the state, and state should ensure for equitable distribution of such material resources. We say the state should play a regulatory role in achieving the concept of equality. So, the ownership, the main aim of socialism is the state should own the material resources, and the state should provide the opportunities for everyone to enjoy the resources. Here in this case, as we do not follow pure form of socialism, we follow mixed economy. So, the ownership of material resources is also in some cases concentrated in the hands of few people. The state should ensure that the concentration of wealth should not be in the hands of few people, and only few people should not benefit from the process of development. The fruits of development should reach the last person, Antyodaya, that is, last person standing in the queue should also enjoy the fruits of development. So, this is what we said, avoid concentration of wealth. You need to distribute the wealth. The other concept in Article 39 is which highlights or which strengthens the welfaristic approach of the state and socialistic pattern of the state or society. There is an equal pay for equal work. This is irrespective of the gender. Men and women should be given equal remuneration or equal pay for the same or similar nature of the work. So, this is also we have mentioned in Directive Principles of State Policy. Following this, there are many law, many policies, legislations brought by the state giving equal importance to men and women at workplace. Probably women should be given more importance in taking the sensitivity or the gender of the female. So, we have maternity relief that gives a paid relief or paid leave of some time, that is 12 weeks as of now. So, they are given more importance, that is they need a special focus or special interest. Other thing is health of the workers. This we have provided in DPSP that if a community or the population who is into the labor net, if the state ensures their good health, obviously they would add for the development, they would add in the process of development. So it is the responsibility of the state to provide good living standards, that is provide good conditions at work, because health of the worker is important to have a production which matches the consumption. And also childhood and youth shall not be exploited. This is also a provision under Article 39. It is the responsibility of the state to draft certain policies which gives freedom for childhood, freedom for youth to express or to grow in whatever manner they wish to. So it is improving their overall development. The state should take responsibility. For example, the state should build such schools, vocational centers, health centers, sports and other activities where a youth and students are engaged. This is also a step towards curbing or towards prohibiting child labor, towards minimizing the crimes, towards a healthier development of the society, towards improvement of the sports and well-being of an individual. So this is also the responsibility of the state. When framing policies, all these provisions should be considered. So that is Article 39. When we say socialistic principles, here we are focusing on the welfaristic state. Article 40 is discussed in Gandhian Principle. So we discuss Article 40 in Gandhian Principle. Here we will continue with Article 41. Article 41 says the state should secure or it should ensure that every citizen should be provided or given an opportunity to work. Every citizen should be given an opportunity to study, that is right to work, right to education. And we also have public assistance. Public assistance is the government should ensure or the state should ensure that certain section of the people, underprivileged section like old age people, disabled people, sick people, children's, youth, these sections, unemployed sections, unemployed people, all these sections of the society should be given priority. They should be given some assistance from the government. For example, when we talk about old age pensions, old age people may not go to work and earn. So when they turn 60 or plus, the state should provide them with minimum pension so that they could live a dignified life. Similarly, disabled people should also get some pension to their assistance, to their livelihood. Unemployed youth should be also given a package or assistance, that is public assistance, in terms of loans or scholarships for the students. So many welfare schemes of the society, of the state, be it central government or state government, intends to give importance or for the upliftment of these sections. Many schemes are there, right from pension schemes, MSME schemes, banking schemes, insurance schemes, whatnot. So many schemes are there in public assistance. So Article 41 is mainly focusing on work, education and public assistance. Public assistance is a very big or broad terminology. We would see many schemes under the central government and state government which targets this section of the society, be it agrarian, be it labor class or employed in the manufacturing sector, or students or unemployed youth, etc. So public assistance is the responsibility of the state to provide some assistance, material assistance for the development of certain section of the people. Article 42 talks about securing justice for women especially, and giving good conditions at work. So we say that everyone should be given equal importance at the workplace. There shall not be any gender discrimination. So securing a humane condition of work, that is a good environment, good leisure period, good condition of work. So all these things the state should make sure that any organization, be it private or public, any organization where there is a work, the organization should ensure that just and humane conditions should be provided for the people working there. Especially the organization should have a policy where they should give special assistance to pregnant women or ladies in general. So that is Article 42, providing just and human conditions of work and maternity relief post pregnancy and pre-pregnancy also. That was Article 42. Now we discuss Article 43. Again, I remind, these are all the provisions in Directive Principles of State Policy which intends to establish a socialistic pattern of society concentrating on welfareism of the people, that is welfare of the society. These all provisions may not be enforceable in the court, but the state should contribute, or the state should take the responsibility to link all these, or these all provisions are followed in framing policies. Article 43, secure to all workers a living wage and decent standard of life. What is living wage? So the state should provide with such conditions at work for good salary or good income and a decent standard of life. Every worker should be given a very good standard of working conditions. So they should be given a minimum wage for their survival, for their livelihood, and that should not exploit a person. They should not made to work more, but standards are followed in employment and the wage remuneration should be at par with the work they do. And participation of workers in the management. This we have added by amending the constitution. As we follow a socialistic pattern of society, the participation of workers in the management brings a sense of a participative nature, that they also feel that the organization is for us and we are for the organization. There should prevail a employee-employer relation, and we can also say that they should have a participation, that is a profit sharing also. So participation of workers in the management gives a sense of participative nature, that is they work for the organization, not just for salary. There is a friendly relation which improves or which enhances the production of the organization. So participation of workers in the management, this concept we have added by Constitutional Amendment Act. So Article 47 says, it emphasizes that the state should provide good nutrition to the people so that the people live in a healthy life. So to raise the level of nutrition, as we discuss the concept of fair price shop, that is food distribution, the state has the responsibility to provide essentials for the poor and for the people who cannot afford. So by giving free distribution of food by ration, that is ration cards, the state will distribute the essentials like rice, sugar, oil, anything for the people at subsidized rates. So it is the responsibility of the state that no one in the society faces the problem because of malnutrition or because of hunger. So nutrition, provision of essentials like food is also the responsibility of the state, because when we say the standard of the people or the living standard of the people should be improved, that is one thing, that is preventive. We can also say that the state should take such steps to provide good health for the people. So we have primary health centers at village level, we have district hospitals, we have government hospitals at state level. So all these hospitals which provide free health care to the patients or to the needy people. So under this Article 47, it is the responsibility of the state to provide nutrition and to improve public health. So all this we have to follow. All this the state government need to be followed in framing its policies. So we can say that Article 47 will guide the state when, if there is a health policy, so they should consider these things. The health policy should be in such a way that it is in reach to the underprivileged people or the people in need. ఈ విషయంలో అందుకే చాలా గవర్నమెంట్ హాస్పిటల్స్ ఉన్నాయి, మనము గవర్నమెంట్ స్కూల్స్ ఎస్టాబ్లిష్ చేస్తాము, ఫ్రీ ఫుడ్ ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తాము. స్కూల్స్లో మిడ్ డే మీల్ ప్రొవైడ్ చేయడంలో కూడా ఈ ఆర్టికల్ని ఇన్స్పైర్ చేస్తుంది. ఈ ఆర్టికల్ ద్వారా మనము సర్వశిక్ష అభియాన్లో ఫ్రీ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తున్నాము, అక్కడ మిడ్ డే మీల్ కూడా ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తున్నాము. మన తెలుగు రాష్ట్రంలో ఆరోగ్యశ్రీ అంటాము. సో అది కూడా ఒక టైప్ ఆఫ్ పబ్లిక్ అసిస్టెన్స్, గవర్నమెంట్ నుంచి పేదవారికి ఉపయోగపడే హెల్త్ స్కీమ్. అలానే రేషన్ షాప్స్ ద్వారా చాలా వరకు పేదవాళ్ళకి హూ ఆర్ బిలో పావర్టీ లైన్, దే విల్ బీ గివెన్ free subsidized food or the essentials at lower cost. All these things are taken into consideration when the state formulates policies. Thank you for watching my video.